Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is my brutal, honest review of the Atlas 4.0. Cue the intro. So this is going to be my brutally honest review of the Atlas 4.0, and let me tell you the whole story. But what we're going to do is we're going to unbox it to actually put it through real life tests, actually get out there on the road at speed and see what the sound's like, what the quality is like, just go through everything we can go through about this helmet. So as I play the unboxing video, I'm going to explain my actual story in regards to Ruroc themselves. So I was invited to the launch for the Ruroc Atlas 4.0, and it was a big launch. It was at the Bike Shed in London, and when I originally received the email, I was told that I'd be receiving the Atlas 4.0 at the actual event, one of my choice. It sounded fantastic, potentially get my hands on some of the engine hawk gear. It was just sounding absolutely amazing. A few days before the event, I got another email saying that I wasn't receiving the Atlas 4.0 at the actual launch event, but they'll be posting one out and sizing me up and sending me one out, my choice again. So I was like, okay, that's not too bad. I even emailed them to confirm I was going to get it before the public launch date. This was around 2 weeks before the public launch date itself. I got all excited about it. In my head, I was going to be the first person to review the Atlas 4.0 because I dedicated the time. I was going to get my video out about the launch first, and I was going to get my video out about the helmet first, at least in the UK. And it's a UK company, but I managed to get my launch video out straight away. I was the first one, as far as I could see, to get the launch video out, and it was awesome. And then I was hoping it was going to be my brutally honest review of the Atlas 4.0, but it never arrived. I'd emailed them, I sent them my size after I'd been to the event, I'd thanked them for inviting me to the event, and I was told it was passed on to their shipping side of things, and it had never come out, their distribution. So I was a little bit annoyed, so I emailed them again for updates and updates, and I kept getting told it was being dispatched by the end of the week, it was being dispatched that next day, and I was going to get a remake. Anyway, it didn't arrive. The launch date came, it was open to the public, and I was absolutely gutted because I'd promised my audience that I was going to get this reviewed and get it to them, because people were going, they want to hear my opinion, they want to hear my thoughts, and they're holding off buying the Atlas 4.0 until then. So anyway, I got really annoyed. There was something like 20 emails between me and Ruroc, or at least the media company behind Ruroc. And what happened was, at that point, I was like, I've had enough. I'm going to tell my audience about this. I need to apologise to my audience because I've made them a promise and it's not going to happen. I've been let down. And because I put up the post and I emailed them, suddenly they dispatched the helmet within a few hours. And finally, it's arrived. It's arrived. It's a few weeks late. I'm sorry for that. It was, like I said, out of my hands. It's a few weeks late. But now we're going to absolutely, brutally honest, review this helmet. So what's important right now is we go through stage by stage. So we've unboxed it. So let's do the first thing. Let's have the initial first look. So ladies and gentlemen, let me give you the all-new Atlas 4.0. I mean, wow, doesn't it look good? It is a really, really sexy looking helmet. It looks like a fighter pilot's helmet. You know, when you're a kid and you could imagine a helmet that you'd want to put on and pretend you're a fighter pilot flying around. This has got that look. It's got a mean fighter pilot look. I really like the look. I'm not going to lie, I really, really like the look. Okay, so let's talk about quality out the box. How does it feel? Well, obviously it's carbon fibre, so it feels super, super, super light. I'm superly impressed with actually how light that actually feels. Now, when it comes down to the visor, you've got a nice big sort of notch to be able to pull the visor up there, and so that I reckon is going to be quite easy with gloves on. We'll find out what that's like on the road. And you've also got this kind of like half click where it just lets in a little bit of wind. Now I could imagine with my glasses that's going to really help demist them as I'm riding along. Now inside the helmet itself, I mean, there was a lot of moaning, and I mean a lot of moaning about the 3.0 and the chin pads and how bad the quality was on the feel of them when people got them. Now for me, they've clearly, I mean, they've even put it in their adverts, they have fixed this. They've got this sort of more sort of quality feel to it, multi-padding, and they say that it's got some noise sort of cancelling foam in there as well, which makes some really good kind of quality around the ears for when you're trying to ride along, because the biggest thing that bugs me is wind noise, but we will test that out as well. Now, to put it on itself and have a feel what it feels like on now, this is a large to XL helmet, and I'm normally a medium to large. Okay, so you've initially put this on, and what I find normally is my ears feel quite pushed back in most helmets. The way they've done the padding in this, they've almost done it around your ear, so it's like your ears cupped. I really like that, because again, when I'm riding along, sometimes I can get earache from where it's pushing it on a long ride. Proof in the pudding obviously is to do a long ride, but that's got a really good feel to it, and I like the point my ears aren't crushed. And that sounds really weird. Now, that felt like a good fit to me. It wasn't turning loads. The padding on it seems to be quite thick. So that's, you know, that's quite good. So, yeah, the quality and feel of this helmet feels pretty good. It does feel pretty good. Okay, so the shockwave system that is advertised to be super quick and easy to install, I found it a little bit fiddly. When I put in the earpieces, I found plugging in the aux socket really difficult, like really tiny fingers kind of thing, pushing actually hurt one of my nails doing it, but I did get it in, and the sound quality on it is pretty good. It is, you know, it's good to listen to music on. I made a call with it as well, and I had, you know, again, just like a normal hands-free style call. I would love to be able to test the rider to rider, but for that to happen, I'd need another helmet for the sidekick so we can be able to test rider to rider to what that's like. They've got a new app called Chain. It looks absolutely fantastic. But again, I can't really put that to the test without a second helmet and a second shockwave system. But you never know, maybe coming up in a future video. But to install, like I said, a little bit fiddly, loads and loads quicker than putting in a Senna, definitely, because obviously all the wires and connections are there. But just remember, it's a little bit more fiddlier than they make it look. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the speed test. Actually get out on real life roads, test it out at different speeds, see what the sound's like, because the one thing that annoys me the most about a helmet, especially when you're spending this sort of money, is that wind noise. And I just look at it and go, like, there must be a way I don't need to wear earplugs. So I'm going to test it at different speeds, at, you know, average A-road speeds to motorway speeds, and see if this helmet is really good quality, if it is a quiet helmet, or if it is just absolute rubbish. So let's get on the road and let's put it through every single test. So here we are on the proper road test, and it's a proper road test because I've actually picked a really rubbish, wet, rainy day on purpose, because I don't want it to be blistering sun, beautifully by beach with ladies in bikinis. Okay, I kind of do, but this is a real road test. This is what it's like. You're out riding and you get stuck in a windy, rubbish, rainy day, and you want to know if this helmet is leaking, if it's noisy, if it's any good. So let's just bring it up to 50 now. Now 50, let's see what it's like compared to what I normally wear as a shark carbon helmet. Okay, so I can say I can hear wind, there's no doubt about it. I wouldn't say it's anywhere near, probably 30% less than my Shark in regards to wind noise. It's not too bad, not enough that I'd want to put earplugs in. The visibility out of this visor is just fantastic. It's a massive visor as well, so you're getting fantastic visibility, and I feel like I look really cool. I can't stop looking at myself in the mirror, because I do. I look proper cool. I just love this tinted visor, and the way this helmet looks, it is incredible. Anyway, that's 50. We're going to go round this roundabout, then what we're going to do is we're going to step it up to 60. What is, in the UK, the national speed limit for main A roads is 60 miles an hour, and then we'll take it onto a dual carriageway equivalent to a motorway at 70 and try it out there as well. It feels really good on the fit. It's just, like I said, it's like it does this almost like cups around your ear, so my ears feel free. Right, let's pick up the pace. Let's get up to 60. So at 60 miles an hour, I can hear the rain hitting against the carbon fibre helmet. You can hear it sprinkling against it, and the wind hasn't really changed much for another 10 miles an hour.
So that's pretty impressive. To be fair, that's pretty impressive as well. Again, there is wind there, there is that noise. But cruising at 60, this is good. This is good. Right, well here we go. This is where we hit the dual carriageway, our 70-mile-an-hour test. Now this is the kind of ultimate really, because again we are going to be battered by wind and rain on a very busy road. So let's just see how quiet or how good this helmet is going to cope with it. It's no leaking going on so far in this journey on the visor. They've got a good seal on that. I can't hear any wind or whistling from the visor at all. Right, we're at 60. Pick it up. Okay, we're at 70. To be fair to the helmet, I can't really hear a difference between the 50 and 70. I would probably turn around and say, I'd probably still put earplugs in if I was on a long ride, because it would probably annoy me a little bit with wind noise, because it's not quiet. But if I was going for a blast, I don't think I'd bother, because it's good enough for that. And that is saying something, because if I was going for, say, an hour's ride, I'd probably put earplugs in my other helmet, because it would just annoy me, where with this I'd probably be able to cope with it quite happily. There's quite an incredible difference. And I'd even say at this speed, I'd say a 50% improvement on my sharp carbon. That's big. That's a really big improvement. Now, I don't feel like I'm being battered by the wind either. I don't feel like my head's being pushed back. And again, this helmet is ultra light. So when it comes down to aerodynamics, they've done really well with this. You can see they've really thought about the way the airflow comes through this helmet. There's no kind of to the side. I'm not being pushed or forced. A long haul, this would be the lid I'd pick. Generally, this really would be the lid I'd pick. I'm trying to find something that isn't good about this helmet. I really am. But I'm struggling. I'm trying to find something I don't like about this helmet. I really am. But I'll be honest, I'm struggling to find anything at the minute. So of course, the last but not least, the country riding. The bit that a lot of us just like to do, poodle through the country, on the lanes, the back rows, really enjoying the ride away from the hustle and bustle. And I want to go back down to this sort of 30 mile an hour. I've got literally no wind noise in my ear whatsoever. I've even given the helmet one click up to let good air circulation, because that's probably what I'd normally ride like, obviously on a nicer day than this, than being blasted by wind. But when it comes down to visibility again, I can't say enough how good this visibility is. It's such a wide angle view. I can see the sort of where the filler cap is, where I'd probably have to dip my head down on my other helmet. They have really kind of done a good job of giving that kind of view where you feel like you don't need to turn your head to be able to look around. You can just see. It's fantastic. So what I'm finding on this ride, why I'm enjoying this beautiful rubbish day, that this helmet, on comfortable, it is just comfortable. On the road, it's comfortable. I don't feel like there's a back pressure on my head. I don't feel like there's any pressure around my ears. It's very close to, obviously I can feel where the foam's gripping around my sort of cheeks, and I can feel where it is on my head. But barely, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel claustrophobic, it doesn't feel tight. It just really fits well. Now, there's a vent on the top that you can reach. See if I can do it while I'm on the move. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can reach the vent. I couldn't do that if it was a hot day and I was feeling really hot and sweaty. Happy days, I can reach and switch that on. But overall, I'm really impressed. Now, the tinted visor itself, I put this on because I think it looks really cool, and I instantly was going to go back to the clear, and I still might go back to the clear. But what I'll say is, having this on, it looks to me almost like my face is blacked out, but looking through, it's only slightly tinted, almost like what I'd class as almost a weak pair of sunglasses. And to the point where I wouldn't worry about riding like this in this kind of lowish light conditions at all with this visor. Obviously, if I was going at night, you need to swap over to the clear lens. I would have quite liked for Ruroc to have put an integrated sun visor that came down for that feature, but they haven't. But at the same time, to swap these visors over, what I did when I first got this out of the box was it's just a clip, pull out, pop off, put the other one on, push the clip in. There's no trying to line it, push it in, get it to click into place. It was really, really easy to do. So, you know, it's no big bother, but obviously you don't want to be carrying around a spare visor with you. So, again, if I was riding at night, I'd definitely switch to the clear visor, but most of the time, this is going to be fine, absolutely fine. Okay, now currently if I was generally going to rate this helmet out of 11, I'd probably turn around and say, do you know what? I'd probably give it 11. So far, it has ticked every box. Every single box. I've not felt like in the rain, like any water's coming in. I've not felt it being uncomfortable. I've not felt like the wind noise is excessive. I'd actually say it's more quiet to what I'm used to. Be able to reach the visor, to put the visor up and down isn't any issue at all, because I've put a nice little lip on it. They're not left it for you to try and find some little popper to pop off to be able to lift it up. The vision's fantastic. Even the tinted visor's impressive. I've got an issue with airflow. Everything feels quite good. They've got almost underneath this chin where the way they've designed the helmet. I don't know if you can see, but they've obviously put on almost like the seal underneath here, so you're not getting any wind shooting up underneath your chin. It's just good. It's just simply good. It's just simply an 11 out of 10 helmet. I was expecting to find problems with it. I was expecting to go, do you know what? This isn't very good. That isn't very good. I wouldn't buy it for this. But out of the box, it's good.
So I can't believe I'm actually going to say this, because I wasn't expecting to say this. I was looking for lots of downsides to the helmet. But I've got to say, the Ruroc Atlas 4.0 to date is the best helmet I've ever tested. And I really can't believe I'm saying that. And on that note, I'm going to end the video. Just wow.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try.